Well, hi everyone. I'm John Reitland, back with another double review of two more Netflix originals. The App, complete dog shit, not scary, not frightening, and not good at all. And The Plagues of Breslau, which actually wasn't all that bad. Actually had some pretty grisly images, and had a pretty simple story, but an effective story. So I gave away how I felt about these movies already, and like any multi-movie reviews, I'm going to be spoiling them throughout. You do not need to watch The App. Remember a while ago when I reviewed two movies, Animas and a movie called The Cave? Or Cave rather, and it was about three friends going exploring in a cave, but the dubbing was so goddamn bad. It was like the dubbing was put in from like seemingly another dimension, if not another planet. Well, that's exactly what the dubbing was here. And this was something from Netflix, where even if they brought it over from another country, you're thinking, why would you dub a movie and not just keep it in whatever original language it was? And I think it was Italian. I don't exactly know. It did take place in Rome, so I'm assuming it's Italian. But basically, this is the idea of it. There's some actor and his girlfriend, and he goes over there to play Jesus Christ in a movie. He comes from a rich family, but he wants to make it out on his own. His girlfriend says, hey, why don't we set up this app that we'll have on our phones? And it's an app for couples that are together but want to explore dating other people. Okay, bit weird. It's an app called Us. No, not the Jordan Peele movie. It it was just it made no sense why they would keep this app anyway. The girlfriend says, well, it's for my studies, whatever studies she's fucking doing, and they're a happy couple and everything, but he's like, okay, I'll play along. Well, he gets there and everything. The red carpet's laid out for him because this Italian film production is just laying out the red carpet. They want to get some good pub from this, and they're like, okay, we found our guy. We're able to get him. We can make this movie where he's going to play Jesus Christ, and it's all going to go good. There's also this weird lady named Ophelia, this beautiful blonde that is like, she's like the religious type where she needs to punish herself by like putting whatever that metal thing is over her leg, trapping and like spiking the skin, whatever that spiked metal stuff is. I don't know. I don't study religion all that much, but I know it's a way to punish people for their sins. Um so she's there, and he falls for a woman that is speaking to him through this app called Maria. Well, it turns out, what it turns out to be. It turns out that this woman Maria is an algorithm, a bot, is basically a way to just give him everything he wanted that he wasn't getting in his perfectly normal relationship, where his girlfriend even confessed she was pregnant. And you get the family dynamic where he's kind of separated or at odds with his parents because he's wanting to make it on his own and not stay in the family business. And also he's got a younger brother that is just seemingly also dubbed from a completely different planet. The dubbing is so jarring that it takes me out of the movie. Not that the movie's all that good anyway. And at 79 minutes, this felt drawn out to 3 hours. So this movie was absolute goddamn shit. Once it got revealed that this woman Ophelia actually, loved him, and it's, oh well, I love you, but I'm not this person that you've been seeking, and then oh, the person that he's been looking for is just a bot, this program in this app. It's absolutely goddamn stupid. Like they're this all consuming consciousness on the internet, and it's dumb. It reminds me of the movie AMI, where the girl got her mind taken over basically by an app that helped her kill because the app took the voice of her mother. Except that movie, at least you could get some, humor out of that. You couldn't get any humor out of this. I'm bored. I'm fucking bored. This movie fucking sucks. So let's talk about something I liked, which was The Plagues of Breslau. And this is set in Poland, Warsaw specifically, or somewhere in near Warsaw. I'm not exactly familiar with Polish geography, and I was a little bit confused by the location, so I do apologize for that. And I'm not going to try to pronounce the actresses' names or the actors' names. Not even going to give it an attempt because I barely could keep track of some of the characters. But I will say, however, this is a pretty fun, gritty crime drama where a policewoman, Helena, is trying to figure out why numerous people are being killed at 6 p.m. on every single day. There's this woman that comes in later by the name of Magda, who is helping her figure this stuff out. She seems to have all the answers. She's able to figure out how these people were dispatched and what ways were used and all this stuff. And it's a little bit weird she figured that out. But she comes from the capital. I believe she came from Warsaw, and she can she can figure all this stuff out, and she, comes from this highly educated place. So it's like, okay, she learned all this stuff and she can figure it out and she can help with the investigation. And it turns out that these are based on 18th century like killings, from history of the particular city that they're in. And okay, it's like, based around people that are either crooks or, corrupt of some kind. They are guilty of some sins. And that's pretty much what it is one person killed per day, except Sunday's a holiday, so you don't do that. So maybe you double up with 2 killings in one day. The thing about this movie is it's very visceral. Now, it's very simple because it's very obvious. Once Magda comes in, gee, I wonder who the killer is. She has all these answers. It's her. She's the killer. It's obvious she's the killer. But it does throw enough curveballs at first where she's trying to help this one guy that suffered an injury in this one accident. He got a hoof like stamped on his head because these 2 horses, race horses, disappeared with separate parts of a body. How did they get separate parts of the body? Well, this guy was split in 2, and his leg and arm went with one, and his leg and the rest of his body went with another. Kind of gross. They actually show some of this stuff, and the killings are actually kind of inventive. And you keep wondering what all this stuff's going. Why all this stuff's happening. Well, it turns out that Magda has suffered a lot. She suffered from lost jobs, being screwed over, trying to care for her family. She has 2 kids that have spinal mitosis or have some form of mitosis, and it's, they have heavy medical bills. And no matter how hard she's worked, she's not able to pay for them. She has taken out a heavy life insurance policy on herself, but she has no way. She wants to dispatch all the people that have wronged her, but she also has a bit of a bad feeling towards this one guy, Jarek, the one guy who got his head stepped on. And she helps, she talks to his wife and says, hey, you need to be there for him. You need to talk to him, communicate with him. The doctors may say his brain's mush, but guess what? You're going to be able to bring him back. You're going to be able to bring him back through the power of, like, basically love, that kind of stuff. So, okay, bit weird, but you know what? Stranger things have happened. Because she goes over the story before she's revealed to be the killer, that she suffered a hornet sting, and she was all in and out, fever dream, and this kind of stuff, and she woke up speaking a completely different language because the brain rewired itself. Even if some parts of the brain regenerate or don't regenerate, other parts will compensate, and the brain can heal itself somehow. That's what ends up happening to this guy. It turns out that she ends up doing the killings because of all the stuff wronged and all the stuff I was talking about. Nobody will listen to her. She feels alone, and she took out that life insurance policy as a way to basically get her kids the care they need, get them a house, and basically take care of her family. But because she had gone so far into murdering people for reasons, she murdered landlord, murdered other people that she had worked with, police chief, all that stuff. It made sense. There were perfectly good motives for it. Still, pretty goddamn dark. I mean, she was driven to do that stuff. I'm not saying I have sympathy for her, but it's like, boy, you kind of have a bit of an understanding for why she did it. And then she talks to Helena, basically. She knocks her out at one point and talks to her. We see this in flashbacks, not understanding how all this stuff happened by the end. But then we see flashbacks as she's talking to her and explaining about the life insurance, all that, and says, hey, what you're going to do is I'm going to, basically she's going to cut her head off with a guillotine. She's going to cut off her own head with a guillotine, but the life insurance is not payable if it's by suicide. If nobody finds out it's suicide and Helena helps her, then okay, then her family can get the life insurance and everything can all be whoopsie-doopsie, happy sunshine and rainbows, despite the fact she lost her goddamn head. So Helena ends up helping her and places the woman's head in a helmet, a golden helmet that was presented to the Prime Minister of Norway Poland. Sorry, Norway. I kept confusing this with Norway. I apologize. I do apologize. But she, put the head in the golden helmet that was presented as a dirt bike race. And then that got the attention. There was a USB drive in there. And it was a video she had taken on Helena's phone and explained all this stuff and everything. So Helena got off scot-free, even though she had to be complicit in doing this stuff. And also this overriding theme where at the very beginning, Helena's trying to kill, or, talking about, wanting to kill, or, you get the implication she wants to kill somebody. It turns out that her fiance was killed in a drunk driving accident, and she knows the guy that did it. And Magda even says, I was tailing you and I saw that you wanted to do that. So that's why she selected her to do it. You know, why she trusted her to do this stuff, because then she'd get revenge on her husband's killer or fiance's killer or husband, fiance. Some of the details of this movie kind of escape me, but she ends up doing that and ends up, as the movie closes, she clocks the guy in the head in his house, and that's where it goes. We get smash cut to credits, so the movie actually wasn't all that bad. It actually wasn't all that bad. Obviously the app gets an F, gets a fucking F. I would give it an F minus if that grade actually existed. But yeah, the Plagues of Breslau, I'll give it B minus too. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but I'll give it B minus. It was enjoyable. The deaths were inventive. It's a simple story, and it was what it was. But you know what? It had a nice breezy pace to it. Not wholly original, but it was what it was. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said. Like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.